Hey everybody. So today we're looking at the top of that diagram, which is identification as this body, as this mind. And we'll take them in two parts. We'll look at mind and body separately because it's so dense, it's so it's such a grip. So it's worth taking a bit of time to really look at what's going on with them. But let's go with the body first of all. I am this body. It really, really looks like that, doesn't it? There's no way it doesn't. And it looks like there's a me somewhere in the body that is controlling it, that's looking out through these eyes, that's doing the listening, that's doing the moving around of these hands, that is feeling the sensations, that can use this body to be a better person or more loved or more respected. That the body how it is says something about me, who I am. And so there's all sorts going on, isn't it? And it looks so real, that which is why this video and tomorrow's maybe might be the moment where you think, oh no, this course isn't for me. But don't get put off by this bit, because this really is maybe the ultimate hardest thing for the self idea to tackle or to be confronted with, because it's where the self has arisen from. Really, it's arisen, some people say, as a contraction in the body, or some people have it as the arising of a series of beliefs, like one belief stacked on top of the other. But either way, it's something that's been reinforced over and over and over and over and over again, that you are Claire, you that's who you are, that body there. And the mind, or the idea of self, grabs hold of it and claims it, and has never had any reason to question this relationship with the body, this intense identification. And we're going to question it now, because we are going to look at how there is no self looking out through these eyes and listening and moving these hands and having these sensations and being the thing that's judged when the body is seen to be attractive or ugly. There's no self that is happening to or doing. There's no self that's doing any of that. And so what is there? What's going on? Well, what we're considering is that listening is happening, seeing is happening, and that has nothing to do with the self. The self is an idea, an overlay that believes it's the thing controlling everything, but actually it's not. There is no one, there's no individual here doing any of this stuff. Massive, so massive. And maybe a lifetime of hovering around the edges of that for us, perhaps. But if we think about it, how am I making these words happen? How on earth are they happening? How is breathing happening? How is listening happening? No idea. no idea. There's not one single part of that I could write out as instructions to another body for how to speak or how to listen. How do we take a thought and translate it through to a written word on a screen? It's happening as a series of intricately learned behavioral mechanics. And the self itself is an intricately learned idea. The behavioral mechanics are apparently true. We can hear a voice, we hear it, watch a movie, eat a meal that someone's cooked. There's an apparent realism to them. But the self idea, which is nothing but a series of beliefs. Sorry about that, interrupted by my daughter. Yeah, so there's an apparent realism to the body. There's an apparent form, an apparent presence, solidity. But the self, where is that? Where is it? What is it? There's no apparency to it at all. And this is interesting because it switches that dynamic from the self as the center of everything relating back to the self. Everything's personal. Every sensation is saying something about me. Every illness, every diagnosis, every label, every compliment, every criticism, every look in the mirror, every bowl of food, everything is saying something about me. And we're starting to see, no, that's not true. None of it is saying anything about a self. The self doesn't exist. All of it, all behavior is simply learned behavior that out of infinite possibilities is the thing that's making most sense now. Oh my goodness, this is I mean, literally we could just talk about this for all the rest of our lives, and maybe still never really get to the very center of it, because it's just so beguiling, that grip of the self with the body, like grip. Yeah. So what happens then is that as this self starts to no longer just be assumed for the total reality it is, as it starts to lose its apparent realness, then all that conditioning, all that behavior, all that meaning and assumption and association that came out of that film of self ceases to exist as well. That it was all part of it. And then what remains is sensations and sensations, and maybe just sensations of these physical presence arising, and they're met with presence. They're no longer met with a bewildering array of what this says about me. They're just met with presence. And so no wonder that this understanding creates an embodiment and an immersion and an opening to the impossible to comprehend intelligence of the body. It's messages, it's constant calibration and alignment is held and honored in a space of absolute presence and absolute absence of confusion, and perhaps for the first time since we were babies, maybe the body starts to be realized for actually what it is and known for what it is. So it's tremendously exciting, so exciting, and so far from denial. This is, we see how easily, this sort of conversation about no self, no body, no blah blah, no pain, no illness. It's just not that at all. It's just the seeing of what's true, which declutters that presence, that space in which all these things are arising and they're met. It's intelligence meeting intelligence. That's all. Massive, really massive. And please don't worry. Please don't let this video close down this course for you. Please don't let that happen. Just park it. Bin this one if it's really putting you off, and come back maybe to it at the end of the course, and we'll just see where we're at. Because I fully know how alien this sounds, and nonsensical and confronting and ridiculous. So yeah, just park it, but stay with us, stay here for a bit. Okay, big love to everyone. Bye.